Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Rob here, and I have point standings for the top 10 after 10 races, and the team leads, and a few teams passed other teams. I know our team dropped a little bit this week. We go from 6th to 7th. And the bottom groups, the ones that were like 9th, 10th, and 11th, really moved up a little bit this week and tightened it up a little bit. So last place is only 1 point out of next to last, and 10th place is only 1 point out of 9th. So that's really good. Only one team has 300 points. That is Team 10. But Team 4 has 298 and then 292 with Team 1. So that's top 3 teams this week. After 3 races, Darla's leading in points, 125. David Demos, 123. D. Scott Howard with 99. We got a tie for 4th. MP Fox, Devin OG, 97. Tie for, let's see, no, we don't have a tie for 6th. Tribe Fan, 94. Tie for 7th, though. JB Gorman, Danny and Gray, 87. 9th place, Fast Eddie with 81. And a tie for 10th, Philip Reynolds, Amish Elvis, 79. And that is after 3 races. These NCAA games, I have not looked them over at all. I just wrote them straight down off the boards. So I'm going to kind of give them to you as I go this morning. Don't know exactly what we got going on. Let's see what's happening. Let's see what's happening. All right. First off, we got Illinois against Wisconsin tonight. Wisconsin's 19-point favorites. Illinois is supposed to be an improved team, but Wisconsin, the two things they are made of. Number one, running the football. Yeah. What's up, Ole? What's up, Huss? The two things that Wisconsin's made up of is running the football and good run defense. If you've got that, I like you against most any team. They're at home, 14th team in the country, number 14 team in the country, 19-point favorites. I'll take Wisconsin in this game. I'll take Wisconsin. I think they win big. Saturday, let's just go to the top 25. Syracuse at Clemson. Clemson, a 46-point favorite. If you watch Syracuse play Liberty University last weekend, Liberty trounced them, 17 points? Liberty is not Clemson. Clemson's 46-point favorites. They're number 1 in the country, and they're playing in Death Valley. That's enough said right there. This is going to be a 60, 70-point blowout. Clemson beats them easily. 46 points probably by halftime. Alabama at Tennessee, 21.5-point favorites. We are talking about, what's up, Tam? We're talking about a quarterback that has thrown for 400 yards 3 times this year in Mac Jones. Mac Jones is the real deal. Tennessee, they've played up and down. Is video lagging a little bit? I may have to restart it. I'm outside, too. I try to go outside sometime. Let me back it up, get closer to the house here. Sometimes that makes a difference. Going good for Ole. Okay, all right. Let's keep trying him. Let's say Mac Jones. He's thrown for 3 times already. I'm sorry, 400 plus yards. Chainsaw. You don't like that chainsaw. Or the birds. I don't know what he doesn't like. But Alabama, I like Alabama here. Tennessee is not as good a team. Alabama can go on the road, one state above them. They win this ball game. Alabama walks. It's a cakewalk. Next one, number 3, Notre Dame traveling to Pitt. Sound when I move the table. I got you. Squeak, squeak, squeak. Tennessee, Utah, and Minnesota are my top 3. Not in football, dude. Not in football. Tennessee's not a good team. They will get beat by Alabama. Notre Dame and Pittsburgh. Notre Dame a 10-point favorite this week, and they did. I mean, they scratched it out with Louisville last week. Louisville, a decent team. Pittsburgh, a top favorites. I mean, not best teams. Okay, I got you. This is gonna be a trip up game for Notre Dame right here. Pittsburgh's a top 10 in the country at stopping the run. Notre Dame was not able to throw the football last week. If they cannot throw the football this week, they are doomed. Pittsburgh not only covers this game, I think they've got a chance to win the game outright. But I'm going to take Pittsburgh. They easily cover 10 points here. I'm not sure they don't win the game at home. Nebraska against Ohio State. Ohio State number 5 in the country. 26.5-point favorites. Ohio State's been looking for this all year. They've been looking for their opening game. They don't have to play Michigan. They don't have to through this whole conference. 26.5 points is nothing. Ohio State, they will score 65 or 70 points. They'll score 65 or 70 points. Ohio State will. They will win this football game. Iowa State at Oklahoma State. And Oklahoma State, number 6 in the country. Iowa State, number 17 in the country. 3.5-point favorites. Vegas does not like Oklahoma State here. They do not like them. If they did, they would be favored by 7, 8 points. 3.5-point favorites. I don't like them either. I like Iowa State. I think probably an upset, but give me 3.5 points. I'll take Iowa State in this ball game. Penn State. This is another team that got an airplane real close. Was that a truck? I thought it was an airplane. Jeez. It sounded like an airplane coming away now. That was crazy. Penn State. They are 6-point favorites. No, it's not an airport. 25 miles away. Real close to where Sean lives. Sean's right at it. He's not 2 steps all the way away from the airport. Penn State, 6-point favorites at Indiana. Somebody does not like something about Penn State here. I don't, I have tendencies that a lot of times the opening game, the team that's playing at home gets a little bit of a perk. But being that they pushed them back all the way here to October, I like Penn State in this ballgame. I think Penn State wins. They won't probably impress anybody, but they'll win by 10, 12 points. Number 9, Cincinnati, going to number 10, SMU. This goes back in the days when SMU was good back in the 80s. Penn State's a white team or the blue team, whatever they end up. Yeah, Penn State's plays total, and they don't put their names on their jerseys. Yeah. Cincinnati, number 9, SMU, number 10. SMU 40 years ago was a constant top 10 team. They are working their way back up into prominence. They really are. They're at home this week. It's supposed to be pretty warm down there, kind of muggy. They're 2.5-point favorites. I like SMU to walk here in this game. I think Cincinnati gives them a hard time, but I like SMU to win this ball game and cover the points. University of Virginia at Miami, 12.5-point favorites are the Hurricanes, the number 11 team in the country. They are too fast for Virginia. It's going to be too hot down there. Virginia will wear them. They'll beat them by over 2 touchdowns. Miami wins this game. BYU, Cupcake City. They're not playing anybody this year. 29.5-point favorites. Hand the ball off, throw the ball, whatever you want if you're BYU. They're going to walk all over this team. Texas State, they're going to get trounced. Carmatha will play well. Who's Carmatha? BYU, 29-point favorite win big. Next, we got North Carolina State against North Carolina. What games you playing? I don't know what we're going to play tonight, Tam. I may not even be home tonight. I may play a game in a little bit, but maybe not tonight. We'll see. North Carolina State is a decent team, but they are not North Carolina. Realism check last week, getting beat up. They're at home this week. They win. North Carolina covers easily, 15 points, no problem. Carolina will cover. Next, we got Michigan, number 18 in the country against Minnesota. Minnesota, can you shoot those birds? They're all over the place, man. I have a lot of bluebirds out here too. So, Michigan, 3-point favorites on the road at Minnesota. I do not like this game at all. I would not play this game whatsoever. But if I am going to pick, I'll take Minnesota. I would not play it. Stay off the board with this game. Michigan, Minnesota, stay off the board with it. Don't play it if you don't have to. Virginia Tech, 9.5-point favorites at Wake Forest. Virginia Tech is learning their new offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. They've got new ones from last year, and they're starting to pick it up a little bit. Their defense is really kicking it in. 9.5 points. I don't think it's a little bit much, but I think they cover here. I think it's going to be a close game, but I think Virginia Tech can cover 9.5. I think they can get, when I say a close game, at 2 touchdowns maybe. But Wake Forest is not that great this year. Tech will win and will cover. What's the major difference between West Virginia and Virginia? Mountains and teeth. West Virginia has mountains. Virginia has teeth. That's a bad joke. Kansas against Kansas State. One's in West Virginia, one's the other one's in Virginia. Kansas, not a very good team. Kansas State at home playing their state rivals, 20.5-point favorites. I think Kansas can keep it close for a half, maybe close to 3/4, and maybe just keep it close enough to where this will not be a blowout. I like Kansas here. Big upset. It was not going to be an upset, but they will cover. They will not be Kansas State. They won't cover 20.5. Kansas State won't. Florida Atlantic against Marshall. Marshall at home in West Virginia. That's where Marshall's at. 17-point favorite. Marshall's a very good team. They will cover 17 points there. Georgia Southern and Coastal Carolina. Coastal Carolina has some great receivers and a very good defense. 6 points. They cover it this week. They beat Georgia Southern and cover. Florida State, Louisville, 5-point favorites after seeing what Florida State did last week. I can't believe they are 5-point favorites. Now, Georgia Southern and the University of Georgia, 2 totally different teams. Georgia Southern is a small school. Yeah. Georgia Southern is a primarily school. University of Georgia, no. Georgia Southern at one time I think was primarily a black school, but now I think it takes young ladies and everybody now. I think. Now I'm not sure. Florida State, Louisville, Florida State. They played great last week. So it is a minor college. Yes, it is. They may be considered one of the FBS schools, but they're not a huge school. Not at all. They're not a big school. Coastal Carolina's not big either, but Coastal Carolina, they seem to be getting some of the good getting some good players now. But because it's right there close to Myrtle Beach, that's why Coastal Carolina's in a good location. Florida State, I like Florida State in this spot. They're on the road, yes, but my goodness, you're getting 5 points. Give me 5 points. I'll take Florida State all day here. They beat up on a North Carolina team that I think is better than this Louisville team. So give me the Florida State team. I'll take them this week. Rutgers, Michigan State, another Big Ten game. Michigan State 13-point favorites. Michigan State can run the football. They are a typical Big Ten team. Very good up front. Another red flag game right here. Look at this. Auburn against Ole Miss. Auburn is 3.5-point favorites. That is it. 3.5-point favorites. The big red flag goes out anytime you see that. Auburn, obviously not a ranked team. They've gotten beaten a few times. But I'm scared to take Ole Miss at home. I like Auburn here. I will take Auburn, give 3.5 points, but boy, I'm giving them really slow here because Ole Miss at home can be a tough team. I will take Auburn here, though. We'll see what happens. Next is Oklahoma. Oklahoma 6.5-point favorites against TCU. Auburn is in Alabama. It's very close to. It's not far from a Georgia line. Alabama, Georgia line. Auburn is that. Yeah. So when Auburn plays Alabama, they don't have a long trip at all. Hour and a half. That's it. Oklahoma, TCU. Oklahoma 6.5-point favorites. And this one scares me more than most of them. Auburn's a big school. Oh yeah, it's a Southeast Conference school. SEC. Yeah, it's an SEC team. But these are Big 12. These are Big 12 teams I'm talking about here now. Oklahoma, Texas Christian, or TCU. TCU is going to get a little bit extra, I think, this week, just playing at home. Oklahoma, maybe down a little bit. I like TCU. Give me 6.5 points at home. I'll take TCU in this ball game. All right. Page here. Let's flip the page. Southern Mississippi, coming up to play Liberty up here in Lynchburg, right here at Sean's hometown. Liberty ran for over 300 yards last week. They're averaging over 260 a game or 250 a game, number 10 in the country in running. This team can run the football with anybody. They have a very good defense, and that's a kid in the defensive backfield named Meganson. Watch out for him. He may be moving up the charts as far as draft selection very soon. I like Liberty here. 13.5 is not a lot. I think Liberty is better than Southern Miss. They'll run them off the field, I think. Next, we have Houston at Navy. Houston, 15-point favorites. Houston, they can throw the ball all over a lot. Navy, a running team primarily. They got a young quarterback. I like Houston here. Houston big, 15 points. I'll take Houston. I'll give you 15 points away. Next is Iowa and Purdue. Iowa, man, oh man, the 3-point favorites on the road. So that gives me a feeling that they think they're at least a touchdown better if they were at home. Iowa is a very good team. I know they are. They have that tendency of getting the ball, moving around the field, trying to get it to their tight ends as much as possible. I'll give 3 points here. I like Iowa in this spot, minus the 3 against Purdue. Baylor against Texas. Texas 9-point favorites. I don't want to touch Texas with a 10-foot pole right now. Give me Baylor. Give me 9 points. I'm scared. I'm scared of Texas all over. Give me Baylor 9 points. I think they cover, but this is one I really wouldn't want to touch this game. So if you're unsure, do not play the Baylor-Texas game. I would not play it. Georgia Tech, Boston College. This is another one I wouldn't pick with a 10-foot pole. Georgia Tech has played good in times. Boston College has played good at times. Boston College is at home, 3.5-point favorites. I'll take the home favorite team here by 3.5, but don't touch this game. This is a game that can go either way by 20 points. Yeah. Why is there so many Georgia teams? Georgia's a big state. Georgia's a big state. University of Kentucky. Now, let me tell you what happened here. Georgia, the Bulldogs, were supposed to go to Kentucky tomorrow. Missouri was supposed to go to Florida. Georgia had an outbreak of COVID. Florida had an outbreak of COVID. And so University of Kentucky and Missouri got together, and they said, we'll play each other this week. Since we can't play our other teams, we'll play each other this week. So Kentucky is playing Missouri this week. I'm not sure Florida's any bigger than – it probably is a little bigger than Georgia, but not much. Georgia's a huge state, man. Georgia's a big state. Kentucky, 5.5-point favorites this week. They're going on the road. They were planning on playing at home originally. I think this kind of plays with your head. Okay, we were going to play at home. Now we got to get packed and get ready to go. I like Missouri here. Give me Missouri. Give me 5.5 points. I think they cover. It should be a good ball game. West Virginia, 3-point favorites going to Texas Tech. Texas Tech, the Red Raiders, always known to throw the football. West Virginia is known to have some of the best defensive backs in the country a lot of times and a lot of speed. This is playing right into the hands of West Virginia University. I like West Virginia here. 3-point dogs. Give up at 3 points and go on the road to Texas Tech. I like their chances here. South Carolina at LSU. South Carolina, a 6-point dog here. LSU has done nothing to impress me this year. Ed Orgeron, you won the NCAA championship last year. You won the national championship. You've done nothing to show me that you deserve to be in a discussion for anything this year. I like South Carolina in this ballgame. I think South Carolina could win it. Give me 6 all day long. I'll take South Carolina. Maryland at Northwestern. Northwestern is another team that, to me, I think could be a house of cards. They could fall apart just so easily. I like Maryland here. I like Maryland. Give me 11 points. I will take Maryland all day long. Now let's find my locks of the week. Who are my locks of the week? The locks of the week. Give me North Carolina State. That's a lock. That's a lock. Let's see. Give me Virginia Tech over Wake Forest. That's a lock. Give me Michigan State over Rutgers. That's a lock. And that's a 3 right there. If you're going to play, what's up, Keith? If you're going to play a trifecta this weekend, North Carolina, give up the points. Play Virginia Tech, give up the points. Play Michigan State, give up the points. I think you'll come out great. I think you'll come out great with Vegas. Put yourself $10, $20 on it. If you can, put a dime on it. Put $100, $1,000 on it. And I think you will come out. Let's go back to those again. Let's see. What was the ones I said I would not touch? Uh, the Baylor Texas game. Don't touch that game if you don't have to. I like Baylor +9. Don't touch it though if you don't have to. That's a game that scares the crap out of me. Um, Oklahoma TCU. I think Oklahoma's going to get beat straight up. They're 6.5-point favorites. Don't touch it though. I tell you what, that's a scary game. That's a scary number anytime. Who won the football game last night? The Eagles won by a point. They 22-21. The Eagles come back and win that game. Very impressive Carson Wentz drive there at the end. That rookie receiver is really doing well for him. It really is. Got an update on points. If you want an update on points again, after 3 races, Darla 125, David Demos 123. This is just the top 10. D. Scott Howard 99. We got a tie for 4th. MP Fox, OG, Devin OG 97. 6th, Tim Tribe Fan 94. We got a tie for 7th. JB Gorman and Danny and Gray 87. 9th, Fast Eddie 81. Philip Reynolds. Only one team has over 300 points. That's Team 10, 309. Team 8, 298. Team 1, 292. Team 3, 290. Team 4, 282. Team 11, 268. Team 7, 263. 5, 251. Team 6, 246. Team 9, 245. Team 2, 244. And that's the way that goes after 3 races. And next race, Road America, I think. It's going to be a road course. So we'll see what happens there. Tonight, with a night off, I like the Rays. I think the Rays needed to get their ship in order. They were not going to allow – they were not going to give them a week off. I mean, a game off, a night off. I think Washington should completely change their name to DC Riverboat Rons. Maybe not. Maybe not. I think maybe Ron should get the axe. He should grind it out. And that's my opinion. I think he should definitely end up getting the shaft. I hope he ends up getting fired. You've got 3 or 4 people. I mean, you got 3 or 4. It's a radio broadcast that came on yesterday. 106.7, I think, inside of D.C., right there in D.C., calling for Ron Rivera's head now. You got different podcasts that are asking people to sign sign a paper or a sheet or whatever so they can take it up to Dan Snyder and say, look, as long as he's a coach, we're not even going to watch you, much less think about buying your merch. We're not thinking about it. Washington football team, definitely, I will buy their merch if they can change their system a little bit. They didn't change the name because they wanted to. They changed the name because the league paid them to do it. Let's be for real about it. Daniel Snyder, remember his comments 4 years ago. 4 years ago, I have no intention of doing this. Then they coded his wallet at the beginning of the year, and now he's dropped it. And hey, he's a whole lot of Drew Brees in him. I think they need to have someone in charge of the organization that has a clue. Yeah, they really, really. If he's going to keep ownership of the group, they need a general manager so bad. They really do. They need a GM. But I would prefer them getting a coach and a GM together, somebody in their 30s, early 40s that knows what the heck they're talking about. They are the most clueless franchise in pro football and have been years. Well, I'm not going to go that far because there's some others out there. Cleveland, man. Cleveland, is the name Redskins actually controversial over there? They had an interview with somebody that's the chief of a tribe outside of Washington, D.C. They had an interview with him. He said, not at all. He said, not at all. It's just some bullshit, politically correct people just trying to push something. That's all. Trying to push people around. Cleveland is more competent than Washington. I don't think so. I don't think so. There's no way. Look, they've got that team. They should be a playoff team. And Cleveland's not going to win 7 ball games this year. That team is so dysfunctional. They have no clue. Washington. I'm going to be a Jackson Jaguar fan. Tam, they're nothing to be a fan of. They really aren't. That was the next dysfunctional team I was going to tell you about. Jacksonville. Pick Tampa. Pick Miami. You'll have a whole lot better time. Hell, pick Atlanta. Atlanta's coming on. They've got the right. I think they've got the right system going along anyway. They got rid of their coach. That was number one. But Cleveland, to me, Cleveland is a team. I think they're spinning on mud. I'm going to be a Detroit Lions fan. Same difference there. Same difference. They're not very good either. Teams that I think are going in the right direction. And Jets are not either. I think the Giants are. Look at that kid last night. He really played well. Cincinnati, I think Cincinnati's going in the right direction. I think they're going the right way with things. LA Chargers, I like the way the Chargers are moving their stuff. They're going the right way. I think the Cardinals are going the right way. I just think there's a good chance that the little water bug quarterback they've got, man, if he gets hit, they're in trouble. But man, oh man, are they interested and fun to watch? Yes, they are. The Cardinals are fun to watch. Tennessee, they've got nothing but the sky to go for it now. They're one of the best teams out there, and they're still getting better. They're teams I'm thinking right now that are really moving up the charts. There's some other teams. Pittsburgh's right there. Baltimore's right there. Seattle is right there. The 49ers are right there. But the 49ers, they could use a quarterback. If they could get a quarterback, they would be in heaven. A year removed from being a real good team. Well, it's all a matter of what the Cardinals can do with their, like I say, that quarterback, what he can do. Because he's limited. He cannot throw the ball 50 yards. There's no way. He cannot throw the ball 50 yards. So the defensive backs, they're rushing them now. They're bum rushing them. And, they're making him run for his damn life. And it's crazy. But I'll tell you, last night, Lions will probably nosedive again because they need a new quarterback. And there's always a crapshoot getting one. Yeah. Amazing how all the New York teams are ass when such a well-market area of the world. Because Stafford has years on him. Yeah, Stafford, I'm telling you, why wouldn't you, if you're Detroit, why wouldn't you trade him right now and try to get draft picks for him? Why wouldn't you? You've got 6 days left. 6 days. Yeah, that's it. Trade him. Somebody will take him. I'll guarantee you somebody will take him. And then if I were running the Atlanta Falcons, do you think Washington will best the Cowboys or beat the Cowboys? No way. Have you seen Dallas's offense? Even with Andy Dalton. Wow. Stafford, Ryan. I put Ryan so far ahead of those other two. I put them in my bet. Man, I think Ryan can throw 400 yards any week. Stafford Rivers have passed their 400-yard primes, I think. Personally, if I were the Chargers, I would go after Ryan, hands down. They got rid of Rivers. They couldn't get rid of his ass quick enough. They wanted him gone. Stafford, you just don't know what you're getting with Stafford. He's Ryan's, at least Ryan's as a winning quarterback. He's been in a Super Bowl. He's played. They're all inconsistent, but he's a lot better quarterback than the other two. I mean, Stafford, he made it to the playoffs once, maybe. Yeah. Ryan's went further in the playoffs. I mean, he's went through 3 games in the playoffs and won. And a couple of those, I think, were road games and won. I've put in my bet Washington football to beat the Cowboys. I don't think that'll happen. Bills beat the Jets, yeah. Saints to beat the Panthers. That's going to be a good game. I think Saints win, but I think is this a W? No. Washington's not going to beat the Cowboys. It's not going to happen. No. They're not. Man, they couldn't beat the Giants. I know they're not going to beat the Cowboys. I've wasted some money there. If I want a lock pick, I looked at my locks for the week. But Dallas would probably be a lock pick for me. One, I would say they're going to beat Washington. It's just a matter of how bad. I went off ESPN's predictions. They've got a bunch of garbage guys can talk too. That's all they do. Garbage mouth guys. I so much like the Cowboys this week. It's crazy, but I won't watch it. And I can't even sit and stomach that game. Watching them come to Washington and just beat up on them. I can't watch that. Yeah, I can't stomach that one. I've watched them play all year, but I can't watch that one. Washington went to New York. They went to New York and almost beat the Giants, or they had them on the cusp, and the coach blew it. So why would I think any different if you're going to play Dallas, a better team? No, I don't think so. I just Dallas is a much better team than the Giants. They are. We found out last night the Eagles are not that much better than the Giants, if they are at all. They got dominated, and Wentz is still getting pounded. Did he get sacked 6 times last night? Something like that. But he got knocked down about 15. and he ran the ball a couple of times. Do Washington normally beat the Cowboys? No. Back in the 70s and 80s, yes. A lot of 70s, yes. Mid-70s, no. 80s, back and forth. They were back and forth. They were a great rivalry. Patriots are a 3-point favorite at home against the 49ers. I wouldn't touch that game either. I'm with you. We don't know who the 49ers are even going to have quarterback. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I really do. I don't think either team touches 24 points. Probably not even 21. Why did I even decide to bet on NFL? Patriots defense is really good, but so is the 49ers. That's one that a defensive score might win it for them. Cam is not going to run away from that. The 49ers defense for long. He won't. But Garoppolo, if he's quarterback, and that's the thing, they've got such a revolving door about quarterbacks. Still hurting from week 16, 79 to Cowboys. It's been a lot of games that They handed to them. They just friggin' handed them games. Yeah. Patriots have peaked, I think, when they won the Super Bowl. Then Brady left. Well, do you remember that game? I've seen them. I've seen when they got beat around so many times. It was crazy. Is that when Kilmer was playing? Kilmer could make anybody else look good. He can make most defenses look like Hall of Fame defenses. Was it Theismann in '79? It might have been. Well, it might have won his rookie year, but he was playing. 79. I'd have to look back on that one. I've got the '87 season. I've got all of their games taped. Randall Cunningham. Let's see. We played the Raiders that year. Who else? I think we played the Seahawks. So we must have played the AFC West. I don't remember us playing the Broncos though. We might have, but I got the whole. I still got the whole. I got the whole tape set. Who's Washington's best guy right now? Oh my Lord! Who's Washington's best guy? Please don't say Chase Young. Chase Young, I think, is so overrated. I'll probably go with the linebacker. What's his name? He's probably got 50 or 60 sacks in his career, maybe more than that. That's probably who I would go with. I can't even think of his name. Kyle Kerrigan, maybe. They're hurting for certain. They're hurting for certain. But yeah, I didn't like the Chase Young pick last year. I didn't like it. I think we should have won offensive line last year. But Redskins would have won the division with a win. They had a wild card, all but sewed up, provided the Bears didn't beat the Cardinals by 30. Bears won by 36. Dallas won in the last minute. Was it Danny White? Danny White, he could pull stuff out of the hat. He sucked as he wasn't that great a quarterback. But boy, he could pull shit out the ass when he was going against the Redskins. We got to go out, guys. Bye. What's up? All right, have a good one, Tam. Would have been 79. Wow. Wow. I believe by the end of 79, White was a quarterback. I believe he was. Week 16, 1979, Redskins versus Cowboys. They got the whole game on December 16th, 1979, too. 35-34. It was at Cowboys. Staubach, yeah. Ron Springs, Benny Malone for the Redskins. Mosley, a couple of field goals. And the last two's Cowboys. Ron Springs, Tony Hill, pass. Raphael Septien. He completed a touchdown to Tony Hill, I think, in the back corner of the end zone. Yeah. Does it say when, what time, or where it was during the game? No, it does not. Yeah, so. Staubach, 24 of 42, 336. And that's when if you threw for 300 yards, you did something. So, Theismann, 12 of 23, 200 yards, 1 touchdown. Theismann, 3 touchdowns, but he did throw a pick. He got sacked. Both of them got sacked 4 times. Yeah. Yeah, man. They always hurt when you get beat that late in the game. They always hurt when you get beat that late. Not a good man to go play. Redskins were ahead 30-21 with less than 7 minutes. Yeah. That's why now when a team gets up 20 points, first half, just sit on your laurels and think, it's over with. Nah. Not if you got somebody who can throw the football. If they can run the football a little bit, they got a half-ass defense. They got a chance. Because coaches just like to lay on the football. I ain't never understood that. There's nothing wrong with still throwing the football. Now, if you're up 40 points and you realize, that was 1. They had that game wrapped up. And I think from mid-third quarter till the end of the game, I think Ryan threw for 14 incomplete passes. That stops the clock. I think he had 14 incomplete passes the last 25 minutes of the game. Yeah, but when you're up that big in the Super Bowl, you can run the football. Running the football is not against the law. They just kept throwing and kept throwing and kept throwing, and they just dug themselves in a hole. New England figured, what? You're not going to run the ball on us now. If you're not going to run the ball on us now, you're never going to run a football. And I reckon that's what they figured. You're not going to run the football on us today. When are you? So that's the thing. You need a running attack. You need at least somebody can get out there and be like, okay, I can get around if I need to. We can use 3 plays and get 10 yards. Yeah. Anytime Washington gets ahead by 14 now, you're right. The next possession, they're going to score a touchdown or a field goal. Right? It's not going to be 3 minutes. Right. It's like your defense went out to lunch. The kicking game, they may even get one run back on them. Yeah. Yeah. They're like a hockey team and can't play with a 2-goal lead. That's Washington. They just are not happy unless everything's really close. They play too close to the vest. And they are going to the prevent defense, which prevents you from winning. That's all that does. Prevent defense. Bunch of shit. Yeah. And the thing of it is, it never works. It never keeps them from throwing 15-yard outs. I've always wondered, if you're up 20 points with 5 minutes to go, if you're going to have 3 guys rush a quarterback, why don't you have 2 guys on both sidelines? So that's 3, and that's 7, and then 4 more guys roaming around. Have these 2 guys wander against the sidelines. That way, nobody can go out of bounds. You're not going to stop the clock unless he throws incompletes. And if he throws incomplete passes, he's not getting down the field anyway. But it pisses me off to no end to see a team throw a 9-yard out, and he just walks out of bounds and never gets touched. Why wouldn't you have somebody at the borders, right on the out of bound lines? Yeah, it makes no sense to me. Have one about 10 yards and have another one about 20 yards, or inside 10 and then inside the 20 yards, and then have the other 4 defensive backs just wandering, play wherever they want to, some sort of zone or wherever, it doesn't matter. And then but to me, it makes no friggin' sense. Makes no sense at all. If you're going to give up a touchdown anyway, take a chance to let it happen in a few seconds rather than 5 minutes late on the clock. Yeah. Well, I like it a lot of times if you make the other team work for it. I realize it makes your team tired, but I like it when you're going after the other team's quarterback. I always like it. When you've got it envisioned that that's a guy you're going after, and you want to give him a hit no matter if he throws the football or not. Send 3, send 4, send 5 after him. I don't have a problem with that. They got to have 5 linemen and a quarterback. That's 6 right there. So if you send 5, you still got 1 extra one in the back there. I don't have a problem with that. And if you're going to do it, send different size guys. Don't send a bunch of linebackers. Don't send only safeties. They can't, they may not be able to tackle, or defensive backs. Send a linebacker and a safety and let them come from different directions and be like, okay, what am I in for now? And don't play around the side so much. Go right after them. Flush them out like you would a bird. These coaches are thinking too much about the post-game press conference, afraid to take any chance. You're right. Yep. They are so afraid of losing that winning never comes into the mind. Winning never comes to mind. That's why I say I don't have a problem if Washington goes out here and gets a coach that is not maybe a savvy football coach. Somebody can work with people, can manage a clock like nobody's business, and have a way with – I don't understand. I mean, how long is it going to be before somebody has to do that? You see what you're getting with Marvin Lewis. You're not going to win anything. So why wouldn't you take a chance? You'll start – if somebody did that and started winning games, that would be the craze. Everybody would start doing that. They would start going to different businesses trying to pick guys up to coach. It would become a craze. It would. Yes, Ron Rivera has proven that point. Oh no, what will Rob say about me if I kick an extra point? I wish he knew what I thought about him. I wish he did. Man, oh man. Oh man. Now I realize the man's going through a lot of shit with his cancer and all. My God. That's not an excuse, man. Come on. You can't use that as an excuse for doing stupid shit. You just can't do it. You can't do it. And that's why I say I look forward to the day that one team says, hell with it. I'm going to go out here and get some guy from IBM. I'm going to go out here and get some guy that's a mathematics person. I'm going to go out here and get somebody that when I interviewed him and I asked questions, he gave me all the right answers. Or he or she, either one, give me all the right answers. But you don't have ownership that's got nuts enough to do something like else. You know what? I don't know what stage. I know he had cancer. I know it was cancer, but I don't know how far along it was. I don't know. But he went through a lot of chemo and shit over the summer. And you still got people in Carolina wish they still had him. And I'd be like in a heartbeat, give his ass back to you. Let him go back to Carolina in a heartbeat. I can't stand this guy. He is a joke. He's not a coach. You don't feel at ease if they win it by 30. You just, when is the bow gonna break? When is it the ceiling gonna cave in on us? That's the way you feel if you're watching him. I'm serious. He's just that bad, and it's a shame. It really is. It's a damn shame. I hate seeing it like that. What is it? Noon? A little bit after 12 here on the East Coast. 12:07. And Darlin wants to go out tonight, so we may do something. It was early stage. He should be but I just, and I'm on. I can look at that and say, well, I feel bad for the man, but he's still. If you can't coach, you shouldn't be out there. That's no excuse. And personally, I don't think cancer had nothing to do with it. I just think he's a dumbass. I personally think he's a stupid ass. Who was the guy on yesterday's stream? Who was the guy on yesterday's stream? Yesterday's stream. What was he doing? What was he doing, Huss? Oh, I don't know who it was. I don't know who it was. We may have seen him a couple times. We don't know exactly who he is. I don't know. Don't know who it was. So I think I'm gonna take off now. We've been here for an hour. Gave you my locks of the week. North Carolina over North Carolina State. Dale wasn't too fond of his comments. Yeah. North Carolina over North Carolina State. 15 points. Give it up. Take Carolina. Virginia Tech at Wake Forest. Give up 9.5. I like Virginia Tech here. Their defense is better. Michigan State minus 13 at home against Rutgers. This should blow out. We'll see if it is. Best game of the week. Notre Dame at. I am picking up. There's a bird out there. I'm taking Pitt at home. They top 5 in the country in stopping the run, and Notre Dame couldn't throw the football last week. So what the hell are they going to do if they can't run or can't throw it? They're not going to win. They may beat Pittsburgh, not by 10 points. Not by 10 points. So I like that's one right there that I think is going to be a real fun game to watch. Notre Dame, Pittsburgh, I don't think neither team wins by a lot. Pac-12 gets going next week, I think. I didn't have any Pac-12 games this week. I think Pac-12 starts next week. The 31st. I think they get going on Halloween. I think that's right. But I don't have any, I didn't have any Pac-12 games this week. Yeah, top 10 games. Probably the best top 10 game, Iowa State, Oklahoma State. That should be a good one too. But Illinois, Wisconsin tonight. Wisconsin 19-point favorites. I like Wisconsin. Wisconsin runs their football well. Wisconsin can run really well. They're at home, season opener. I like them big here. I think they'll run all over them. 21 points probably by halftime. 19's a cover point, so I think they do that. Clemson is bored this week, 46 points. They'll run Syracuse off the field. They'll probably be up 50-0 at halftime. And then we'll get to see their backup quarterback play. But we'll get to see one half of Trevor Lawrence, and then he'll probably sit down all the second half. Horsehead Lawrence. Right now, number 1 pick Lawrence, but Alabama, the kid at Alabama is going to try to change that. I think Lawrence still gets picked number 1, but Mac Jones, if he moves up like he's doing, he's going to be a top 5 pick. But he got to beat that. He got to beat Tennessee. Plus, don't forget, neither one of these 2 kids, Lawrence or Jones, has to go next year. They got 1 more year of eligibility if they want it. So, Clemson is smiling, hoping that the Jets keep losing. That way, when it's time to pick, what are you going to do, Trevor? Are you going to the Jets, or are you coming back? All right, lunchtime, Huss. Have a good one. Have a great day, guys. My name's Rob. Thanks so much for checking out the channel. And we'll be around some this weekend. Have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.